Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I already have a video where I talk about the importance of credit and credit scores and how they can affect your life. So I'll link that below if you want to go and watch that. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about what actually builds your credit and the different factors that can make you have a bad credit score or a good credit score. So there are 6 different things that build your credit, and each one of them has different levels of impact. Some are low, medium, and high. So in this video, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to start with low impacts, things that have the lowest impact on your credit score. So first is a hard inquiry, and that is basically anytime you apply for a new line of credit. So if you were to apply for a car loan or apply for like a credit card, those are considered hard inquiries, and it's basically just checking your current credit score to see if you're worthy of getting whatever you're applying for. So like I said, examples are like a credit card or a car loan, something like that. But something like when you're like if you're renting a new apartment, that's considered a soft inquiry. They still check your credit score, but it doesn't count against you. Also, a hard inquiry, it can stay on your credit score for up to 2 years, but the effect of it only lasts for like a few months. Another thing that builds your credit, still within the low impact category, is types of credit. So ideally, you'll want to diversify your credit or credit accounts. So let's just say you have 5 credit cards. That's good. Well, I don't know if that's good, but even if you do have 5 credit cards, that's not diverse because they're all credit cards. So diversify, have a credit card, have a student loan, have a mortgage, have a car loan, have a personal loan. Like for some reason, they want you to have like different types of credit. So yes, ideally you'll want to have variety and diversity in your credit accounts. Also, a total of like 10 different types is ideal. So not like 10 individual types, but have like 2 credit cards, a student loan or 2 or 3, have a car loan. But whatever it is, make sure they're diverse and they total to be 10, at least 10. So those 2 things are considered low impact. Your hard inquiry and then types of credit that you have. So those 2 are the low impact, and next we'll go to medium impact. There's only one thing that's considered medium impact, and that's the length of your credit history. So the older your credit is, the more you're deemed responsible. Think of it as, you've only had a credit card for 1 year, and that's not really a long enough period of time to see if you're responsible with your money and if you can pay things back, versus if you have had credit for 50 years, then you have like a much longer track record to see for 50 years, she's always paid her stuff on time. So the older your credit is, the better, basically. And in order to determine the length of your credit history, they do an average of all of your accounts. So your oldest account is really important, and you never want to close that. So for instance, my oldest line of credit is my first credit card that I opened back in 2014. I don't even use that credit card anymore, but I don't want it to ever close. So now that I think about it, I should probably just like buy gas with that before they close my account, because if you don't use it for like years, eventually they will close it. So I should probably just like do a really small purchase on it and then pay it off so that they don't ever close it. But anyway, that is my oldest line of credit, and that contributes really heavily to my credit history length. So I don't ever want that to close. Moral of the story, don't ever let your oldest line of credit close. So that was the medium impact. I told you there was only 1, and now we'll get into the high impact. There's 3. So the first high impact thing against your credit is derogatory marks. So that's things like collections and bankruptcies. Even one bad mark is bad. even one derogatory mark is bad, but 2 is like extremely bad and can stay on your credit for years, like 7 to 10 years. That's why like it's huge if you ever have to be taken to collection. If you are already taken to collections and bill collectors are calling you, there are some ways that you can get them taken off your credit. People make mistakes, so sometimes you can dispute this. If you say like, I never bought that, and you can prove it, or maybe someone took your identity or something, you can dispute collections. And if you're right, then it can get taken off your credit. You can also negotiate a lower amount. So if you are like, well, yeah, I did do that, but it was like 10 years ago or like 5 years ago or something, like it was a long time ago and it's still on your credit. Let's say you owed somebody like $2,000, like you had a bill for $2,000 that you never paid. You could call up that bill collector and be like, hey, I know I owe you $2,000. I still don't have $2,000, but I do have $500. Would you take that instead? They may take that because in their mind, it's like, well, it's been 5 years and she's never paid us back. But now she says she has 500. So they may go for that. I'm not saying that they'll definitely do it, but they may, and it's worth trying. If they do go for it, don't ever give them access to your checking account, and make sure that they tell you in writing that they'll settle for the new amount of whatever you said. Another thing that is considered high impact is the amount that you owe on your credits, or another word is credit utilization. There's like a certain percentage that is allowed for your credit utilization, or not allowed, but preferred. They want you to stay at least below 30% of whatever your credit limit is. So let's say you have a credit card limit of $10,000. That means you wouldn't want to spend more than $3,000 on that card. And if you do go above this 30%, it will, like your credit score will take a hit, because to them, it looks like you're irresponsible. It looks like whenever you're handed money, you just blow all of it, versus, oh, we gave her $10,000. and she only spent like $600 on it. She must be really responsible. So that's kind of like the thinking behind it, basically. So below 30% at like a minimum, like definitely don't go over 30%, not like me. But preferably you even want to be below 10%. Like that's the like ideal range, below 10%. And also, this isn't just like one credit card that you may have. It's the average of all of your credit cards. Whatever the average credit limit is for all your credit cards, you want to be below 30% at least, but preferably below 10%. The last thing and the most important thing that affects your credit score is your payment history. Always pay on time. Always. And a lot of people think that that means that you have to pay the full balance, and that's not true. All you have to do is pay the minimum. Whatever your minimum payment is, make sure you pay it on time. You can even do it ahead of time, but definitely on time. Don't ever let it be late, because that is the biggest thing, and even missing one payment can really mess you up. So if you are like 30 or 60 days late on a payment, that can really hurt your score, but you can recover from it relatively easy as long as you pay it back within that window. Your score will go down, but you can recover from it. But if you have like a 90-day missed payment, even one of those, that can disqualify you from getting certain type of loans. And if you are more than 30 days late, that will send you to collections. So let's talk about how you would actually like calculate your payment history percentage. So let's say you had a credit card for 10 months. That means that you had 10 possible opportunities to pay on time. If you missed just one of those payments, your payment history would go down to 90%. And I got 90% because you do the amount of possible opportunities minus the one that you missed. So in this case, you had 10 opportunities, you missed one, so the new total is 9. Then you would divide that by the total number of opportunities. So 9 divided by 10 is 90%. And you would think, like, you know, in school, like, oh, well, 90%, like, that's not bad. In the world of credit scores, it is bad. A payment history score of 90% is very bad. Actually, anything less than 99% is considered bad. That's why it is critical, like, it's crucial. Don't ever miss a payment. Find a way to always pay the minimum. And remember, that's it. That's it. Like, you don't have to pay the whole balance every month. You just have to do the minimum to be considered paying it on time. So just the minimum. I don't know what your minimum is. You know, your minimum may still be high, but just, I don't know, find a way. Find a way, because even one can really mess you up. So those are the things that make up your credit score. I hope this was helpful. I think a lot of people, you know, they may have an idea like, oh, credit is important and I want my credit score to be good or high, but you don't really know what it takes to get a high or a good credit score. So I hope this video helps you understand what exactly you have to do in order to increase your credit score. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Give this a thumbs up and leave a comment down below to tell me what you thought, and I'll see you next time. Bye.